we had that are specific to Animal Farm. We're going to do a drip specific AMA next week. And there's, obviously, right, a lot of people, freaking out, and, the whole thing about drip. People saying, why are you not paying more attention to drip right now? Have to realize that Animal Farm is 2 weeks old. We just launched Animal Farm. So, of course, that's where our focus is going to be. It's 2 weeks old. Like, we're in the launch phase of it. It's where all the updates need to be. It's where everything is happening right now. And I've been saying since way before we launched Animal Farm that I expected that we would launch Animal Farm. The attention would be on Animal Farm because it's the new thing. There would be a greater profit potential in it. And people would want to be getting into the drip BUSD pool who had drip, so they'd be selling some of their drip to make that pairing and get in. And others may sell drip to buy dogs or pigs or whatever. But this capital is not leaving the ecosystem. It's just migrating from drip into Animal Farm. And if you have properly evolved with the ecosystem, you're benefiting from that greater than anybody. And we're providing more utility to drip, which at first will not result in price appreciation, just for the simple fact that capital is migrating from drip to Animal Farm, but in the long run is better for drip than doing nothing for drip, or having someone else, do this innovation and not including drip at all. It's better that we do this kind of, great innovation and create this amazing utility and include drip in it. And over time, it's creating more value for drip than it's a net positive for drip. And we have a couple of different products that we want to build for drip moving forward. And when we build these products for drip, that's where the attention will be. The attention will be fully on drip, fully promoting these new products, because it will be, hey, we just launched this product 2 weeks ago. So that's what we're talking about. So, these are long-term projects. These are drip is it's like a year and a half, almost 2 years old now, something like that. It's at least a year and a half old. So, people need to be rational. Because we take our attention off of drip for a couple months out of almost 2 years to do something which is going to be net positive for drip in the long term, you have to try to see the long-term vision with it. And you have to evolve with the space, right? If there is a profit opportunity to be had, but the capital remains in the ecosystem, try to get that edge, try to evolve with it. But if not, if you just say, hey, I don't want to get involved with anything going on with Animal Farm, I just want to stay in drip. Well, now is your opportunity to take advantage of attention being off of drip to increase your position. So when the attention goes back onto drip, you will have gotten a bunch of cheap drip. But, there's, the people, I don't want to, there's an AMA coming up for drip next week, so I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. But people begged me when I initially developed drip, please keep drip exactly the way it is, because so many other projects came and had something similar to drip, and then they did something like change the ROI percentage or make some new referral thing that ended up just destroying the project, right? So I made that commitment from day one that the core mechanics of drip would never change. And I'm going to maintain this integrity, right? And anything we build for drip will be second layer implementations that add value to it. And sometimes these second layer implementations will take away attention from drip when they launch, because it will be the new thing. But in the long run, we're just building and adding more utility for drip, and this will compound, and this will have a net positive effect. But in the short term, it may cause volatility for drip. This is one of the reasons why it's important to me to ensure that drip and Animal Farm are treated as separate projects, because they both have their own use cases, their own utility. They're completely different kinds of projects. Drip gets gate kept very heavily from DApp radar from BSC, whatever their rating service, and trying to get articles and all this stuff. It's heavily gatekept, and I want to ensure that this gatekeeping associated with drip does not tie down Animal Farm, and does not prevent Animal Farm from being the best it can be. So this is another reason why I'm creating a clear distinction between the two. It's not because I want to leave behind Animal Farm. I mean, it's not because I want to leave behind drip. It's not because I don't think Animal Farm will positively impact drip. It's because I recognize that drip is heavily gatekept for a handful of reasons that are completely unfair, that completely make no sense, such as them saying that it's a multi-level marketing thing and all this stuff, right? But none of those things apply to Animal Farm, and Animal Farm really is everything I've learned up until now, especially the things that I've learned through drip and developing drip, and implementing everything I've learned into really the evolution of DeFi and the next major thing in DeFi, and that's what Animal Farm is. But that doesn't mean we're forgetting about drip. That doesn't mean we're not going to continue to build for drip. But there needs to be a clear distinction between the two. This way, Animal Farm does not get blacklisted and gatekept and all the things that happened with drip. And it's not going to, because Animal Farm has extremely strong utility and has very clear and fundamental value and the best incentive structure in DeFi. So it's the only way that it gets gatekept or flagged or anything like that is if we don't create a clear distinction between the two projects. So that's what this is about, right? It's about doing the right thing for our ecosystem and our investors. And 90% of you understand this, and I appreciate that. But there's always going to be the 10% that are louder than everybody and want to come into the Animal Farm group saying, hey, when are you going to do it with drip? When are you going to do that with drip? It's like, this is the Animal Farm group, Why are you doing that? You're causing trouble for Animal Farm because you can't be patient and you can't use the right channels to speak about a specific thing, right? So keep this in mind. Understand that we're going to keep developing for both projects, but we're doing it in a way that creates a clear distinction between the two. So Animal Farm can perform to the best of its ability, and at the end of the day, that's going to help drip. So I know people understand that. It's just there's a couple people that don't, and it causes headaches and extra work for us. But I'm going to come on next week and just have a specific drip AMA in the drip group, and I think some people will appreciate that. So